name is Matthew Liu. I'm a fourth-year undergraduate student at UBC studying music education. I will be covering 6 fundamentals of the tambourine. This video will cover the parts of the instrument, posture and grip, strokes, rolls, extended techniques, and then care and maintenance. So first, let's talk about the different parts of the tambourine. This instrument has 3 main components: the head, the shell, and the jingles. Now, on most tambourines, you'll find that they have a plastic synthetic head, just like this one. Mine has a Remo Renaissance head. And on some tambourines, you may find they have a natural calfskin head, which just produces a different sound. Next, we have the shell, or the frame of the drum. These are usually made of wood because it's light and it's durable. Mine is made of ash wood. And last, we have the jingles, which come in various metals, such as brass, bronze, copper, silver, steel, chromium, and even tin. My tambourine has 2 different metals. It has chromium and it has bronze. These are 2 contrasting sounding metals. The chromium is very bright and it's very dry, and the bronze is very dark and it's very wet. Now let's talk about playing the tambourine. I want to be holding the instrument in my non-dominant hand. For me, that's my left hand. And I'll show you how I'm holding the tambourine. So I want to have the rim, or the shell of the drum, to rest right where my fingers meet my palm. Just like that. And my thumb is going to rest on top of the head. For extra dampening, my middle and my ring finger are going to just gently rest on the bottom of the head. There we go. As for our posture, we want to make sure that we're standing nice and tall and that we are as comfortable as possible. My elbow is almost at a 90-degree angle, and it's just resting on the side of my body. As for our dominant hand, in this case my right, this is our beater. Now, just like on the snare drum, the timpani, you can use different sticks, mallets, beaters to get a different sound out of the instrument. Commonly, we'll be playing with our fingers. This is just my index finger. We can also play with all of our fingers. And all I'm doing is bundling up my fingers just like a sock puppet. If we want to get a little bit louder on the tambourine, if there's accents written in and we're playing at forte, fortissimo, we can use our fist or our palm. And we can also use this claw shape. That creates a more poppy sound on the tambourine, and it should be used sparingly. Next, let's talk about rolls on the tambourine. We have 2 different kinds of rolls. We have shake rolls and we have friction rolls. With shake rolls, all we're doing is rotating the tambourine back and forth. And this same motion can be compared to opening a door. So I have a knob here, and I'm just turning the knob. The other type of roll is a friction roll, and for this kind of roll, we'd be using our middle finger or our thumb. Now, this technique requires a little bit more practice. It's comparable to when you're drawing dotted lines on a chalkboard. I can demonstrate on my door here. All I'm doing is applying a bit of pressure and gliding my finger across the surface. And it's just the tip of my finger skidding across the surface. Hey, so I've changed the camera angle here so you can see the footstool that I have set up. All this is the base to a snare drum stand, and it works great as a footstool for when you need to play hand-knee on the tambourine. So we'll be playing with our right hand, our dominant hand, as well as our knee. I'll demonstrate very briefly. Another way that we could play like this is if we were to flip our tambourine over. and we'll be playing with the head of the tambourine bouncing off of our knee. Either of these techniques work, and you just want to make sure that you get an even sound. We want to make sure that the bottom of the shell, the bass, is hitting the bonier part of our knee. So we get a different sound if we're hitting the flesh of our leg versus the bone of our knee, which is a more articulate sound. And we want to make sure that our right hand is hitting around the same spot as where our knee is hitting. So that's my right hand, and that's my knee. And the same applies if we were to flip the head over. We want to make sure that our knee is hitting on the same spot as our hand. So if you're playing shorter passages on the tambourine that require you to play with your knee, you also can stand like a flamingo. Oh God. You can also stand how a flamingo would, and this works just as well. Another way that we could play hand knee on the tambourine is for softer passages. We could rest the entire tambourine on our leg, and then we can use 4 fingers or 2. Or we could even rest the head of the tambourine on our knee. So the bottom of the head is just resting on my knee, and this has a wetter sound. And I'll demonstrate the roll here. Great. The last extended technique that I'll show you on the tambourine is articulating with the shell. So doing this in time, we can use this to play grace notes on the tambourine. So if we were to play a 2-note drag, or if we were to play triplets, all I'm doing is lifting the tambourine up and then dropping it back down. The motion is coming mostly from my biceps and my elbow here. Next, let's talk about care and maintenance for the tambourine. Generally, when you're storing or transporting this instrument, you want to keep it in a soft padded or a hard case, such as this one. These cases will help protect your tambourine from getting damaged or from extreme temperatures that might affect the head. When storing the tambourine, keep it in a climate-controlled environment to avoid exposing the instrument to extreme conditions. Now, the head of the tambourine can be affected by the change in climate outside. It's wintertime right now, and it was raining earlier today, and the pitch of my tambourine's head has gone down. Now, if we want to raise the pitch of the head, all we have to do is apply heat, and this will tighten up the skin. I'm going to use a hairdryer to apply heat, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm applying the heat evenly around the head. I'll apply heat to both sides. And it doesn't need to be for too long either. Great, so now after applying some heat to the head, let's hear what it sounds like. It's pretty low, but you can hear the head start to rise in pitch. Great. Sounds better to me. Now we've tuned our head. Another thing that we can do to our tambourine is apply beeswax to it. I've applied a small amount around my playing side here. And all this does is aid in friction rolls. And finally, as mentioned before, you can replace the heads on your tambourines if they happen to break or if you just want to change the head. If you'd like to learn more about that, you can check out this nice video tutorial over here on how to replace your tambourine heads. Thank you for watching. You are now well equipped with the 6 fundamentals of the tambourine. I hope you've learned something, and happy practicing.